Okay, so I haven't posted the video in a while, and it's not because it's cold, and this has been a really cold January, but it's because of this. I've only had 1 or 2 clear nights. I do have some Rosette Nebula pictures that I'm going to share with you, but I'm going to go down here to my observatory and show you my latest purchase, which is making my life so much easier, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, so I made it down to my observatory. It's a little dark in here, but I've got to make sure all the ice is off my shutter before I open it. Don't want anything jamming up, but the new gear I was talking about was my filter wheel from ZWO. I had Orion filters, and I tried to put them in very easy. In case you don't know, you just take the screws off the back panel here and screw them in, and then put the panel back on. But my Orion filters were too fat, and I guess a better way to put it is they were too wide. So when you screwed them in, you couldn't get the back panel back on. So being the astrophotography being the money pit that it seems to be, I ended up having to buy ZWO filters. That's not necessary if your filters are not very thick. I guess I better show you kind of what I mean here, and I apologize. And here's my Orion filters that I had. Tough to open this because it's frigid out here. It's 10 degrees this morning. But this is what I mean by too fat. And it's not focusing. Anyway, you see what I mean. This depth from here to here was too much to fit inside the filter wheel and have it spin. So I ended up having to buy new filters. I'll sell these to somebody or give them to somebody. But I love this thing. I use sequence generator. I hooked the USB into my Peer's USB adapter, turned on sequence generator, set it up all within maybe 30 seconds, and boom, it was working. The hardest part about this whole thing is I had to change my focus, which is kind of difficult with the Red Cat. Very focus sensitive. The adjustments you do on this are very tiny. I mean, like 1 bar of that little seam here. And you just tweak this and you go from out of focus one direction to out of focus in the other direction. That's one of my really only, I don't want to say it's a complaint, but it's a difficulty with the Red Cat. Very focus sensitive. Now, when you get it focused and lock it in place with this, it's fine after that. It works really well. But you do have to kind of play with the focus. Everything hooked up real well. It comes with all the connectors that I needed. I didn't have to add any connectors. And I'll tell you a way I cheated with the focus. Almost made it perfect. It was so close that when I tried to focus, I screwed it up. But I measured from the edge of the scope without the cap on to the back of the camera before I put this in, and it was 17 inches. So when I put this in, it was wider than 17 inches because I had to take I'm sorry, it was closer because I had to take some adapters out. So I just back focused it till it was again 17 inches from there to the back of my camera. And that worked really well. I was kind of surprised. I didn't expect it to work. It was almost perfectly focused. And then I tried to tweak it and knocked it all out of whack, and it took me 15 minutes to get it back to where I wanted it. Yes, I know people watching this are saying you should get a focus, autofocuser. Yeah, it's not high on my priority list. I don't mind focusing with both my Red Cat and my Orion, I usually don't have to spend more than 15 minutes focusing. And the temperature extremes inside the dome here aren't that immense that I have to refocus. Especially with the red cap, because once you get that focus, its field of view is so big that the focus doesn't matter quite as much as with the Orion, which, yes, in the summertime I have to tweak it once in a while between shots, but with the focus wheel, and it's frosty in here, you can see that, ooh, frost. But I love this focus, the filter wheel. I used it on the Rosette Nebula, and I'll share the pictures I got with it. But the sequence generator just makes it so easy. You set up a sequence to do L, R, G, and B, so 4 separate sequences, runs through them, spins the filter wheel, does everything automatically, while I sit in my nice warm living room and monitor everything from my little camera there. But I'm very happy with this. So I wanted to share. I'm not advertising for ZWO. It's just a product I have. Their filters are good. Their filter wheel is also, this is awesome. This is a 2-inch filter wheel. I don't know why I'm having so much trouble saying that. But so all my filters are 2-inch, and I use everything with the ASI. It's another relatively new purchase. I think I have another video with that, my Mono 294. And I'm very happy with all that so far. Really nice. Can't say enough. On a side note, the Nexodome has made my life so much easier. The piers just, I think my lens is fogging up, but I didn't really grasp how nice having a pier would be. There's nights, I think a couple nights ago with all these clouds, I did my polar alignment after about 3 weeks. I said, well, I better do another polar alignment. And it was right on the money. Having a pier is so nice. Polar alignment is a almost instantaneous thing. It's like I use PoleMaster. You run PoleMaster just to make sure it's still polar aligned. It takes all of about 2 minutes, and it's, I might have to tweak one knob or something, but usually it's still right on the money. I have more problems with sequence generator when it comes to plate solving. And I got a whole video on that. But if I do stuff to the east, low on the horizon, and there's a city out that way, so I don't get real good star pictures because it's very noisy if it's low on the horizon. It gets better as soon as it goes up. And if I want to do something starting early, low on the horizon to the east, sequence generator has a hard time plate solving. I tweaked it a little bit. I think I got it better, but plate solving is kind of the only nightmare that I've had with this dome and doing things in an automated fashion. I apologize for my cable mess. Like I said, I just got the filter wheel, and I change cameras every once in a while. I do have it pretty well where it's not going to snag on anything, but it looks like a octopus. But it does work really well. It doesn't snag anywhere. Nothing catches. But tonight, I'm actually going to set up 8 sequences. I'm going to do, and let me make sure I get this right. Well, the later one in the night, I'm going to do the Seahorse Nebula, which is a dark nebula. I'm going to do an LRGB on that. And then I'm going to do, I can't remember what the first one I'm going to do, and I just set it up. But I'll show you that later in the video when I come back down. Right now I'm going to put on all my my luminance, red, green, and blue, and then a combination of the Rosette that I did, just so you can see what the filters do if you don't already know. And then I'll put what I combined in PixInsight. I'm colorblind. I think I mentioned that before, so I have trouble getting the colors perfect. I do the best that I can. Probably not up to snuff with some of you guys, but I'll put that on. And then maybe in a separate video or towards the end of this video, I haven't decided yet. I'm up to about 15 minutes, 10-15 minutes now. But I'll put what I get tonight on. Until then, have a good one.